can actually keep an eye on things as to what's going on with that. Cutting as usual. Okay. Santos, she's going to be logging in via Skype data, so just so you know, I'm open on the computer now. I'm picking up over my own day.
They're killing you where you live, sweetheart. They are killing you where you live. Can't hear anything.
It's literally unlegible, Kate. You can't make out a single word.
Anyway, well, Peter, take it away. I'll take care of Santos.
Okay. Nothing coming. Okay, guys, please just bear with us. Obviously, Kate's getting hit left, right, and centre down there to take the information or the value of the information of what we've actually come through with and try to explain to you guys out there. Obviously, I'm not sure how I'm coming through. If somebody can just let me know, that would be great. I'm not sure what the sound's like at the moment. You there, Peter?
I'm here, fine. Yeah, they don't whack on our door. They whack it on Kate to make sure can't get a word in edgewise. We went through this on Wednesday and Friday.
Yeah, totally. We've seen it all before, but it seems to be getting worse and worse. So, you know, the thing is, Pete, you know and I know, it's not going to work. The game's up, the cat's out the bag, the horse is bolted, whatever you want to call it. The information's getting out there. More and more people are getting switched on all the time. We're getting people like Ben Gilroy coming on. There's all sorts of people coming to join the you know, the group, as it were.
Yep. Well, when you start hitting on all 12 cylinders and you start bringing real truth of substance, then they start getting excited because they're caught with the proverbial hand in the cookie jar. They don't like being caught, but, well, you know, the gig is up. You know, I think we've all come to a point, and if they do this malice and a forethought continuously from here on out, they're going to be held accountable on a whole different level. They just haven't got the memo yet.
Yep, absolutely. Like I said, the cat is seriously out of the bag. This one ain't going back in. It's as simple as that. We've caught them with a hand in the cookie jar with the pants down at the same time. So there you go. Those pesky kids, eh?
Yeah, well, you know, when you come with malfeasance and black heart, this is what they do, and the only way they know how to operate is to try and bind the rest up because they have no honor. There's no honor in the public. Their function is basically to extricate you out of this and beat your doors down until there's nothing left because they know that they're caught and they know their days are numbered.
Well, this is the point. This is the biggie, because if you understand what's going on this level, it demonstrates to you what it is they're actually trying to hide. I mean, we can see it now. The fact that they've been pulling all this stuff for such a long time, and as I say, it goes back a hell of a long time. I mean, the technology that they've hidden from the human race, and this is ancient technology, they've had all along and managed us down here like an ant farm, basically. That's why they were so desperate to hide, because once this cat's out of the bag, if we can get access to that technology and that level of, incredible knowledge, it's just total freedom from the human race, and that's the worst fear that they've got.
Yeah, all these evil, black-hearted folks that have been extracting off the backs of the masses, the game is up. This game is over. Like I say, there's no honor in the public. There's no honor in them. All they know is tricks is for kids at the end of a gun through forced compliance does not a valid contract make. So now they have to force people into to lose their integrity because they don't have any. We've been dealing with the truth and broaching this issue now for years. Like you say, they've been playing hide the sausage for thousands of years. There's nothing new in Rome. They've been pulling this stuff since back in the day. So the exciting part is it's going to go viral, and they're not going to put the poop back in the elephant no matter what they think. What are you going to do, kill us all? Then you got no slaves on the plantation to run. It's come down to that. So we are going to put this, we're going to make our world right. We're going to make it right. We're not warring. They're the ones doing all the warring. We're coming in love and harmony in our hearts, and they've got none, absolutely none.
Absolutely. That's the key, really. We've done what we're supposed to be doing and just come back to consciousness, and it's about giving it back to our place.
I'm sorry, I got this. Sorry about the call. 1 second, brother.
Oh, we could hear you just a bit, Kate. Can you try and speak again?
Hey, catch me knee deep. I'm doing a call, dude. I'm on the Santos call. I posted it to your Dewey Jersey.
Okay, so I don't know if you can hear me.
Precise. You're freaking.
Very, very vaguely. Yeah, they're just hitting your connection real hard. It's a terrible line. Have we got Santos online? Santos Bonacci? Apparently not yet.
Okay.
Okay, you're back with us, Peter.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm trying to get. We're trying to get Santos there. Okay, I'm working on that, guys. Just carry on. I got the back end here, so just carry on.
Okay, that's fine. So Peter, what's new in the province?
Well, the ball is moving very quickly and fluidly. It's a very good thing. It seems like my brothers and sisters in Canada, UK, and Australia have decided they want to get off this slave ship and move forward as well. So that door has now opened. It's beautiful. We don't have to jump through all these other document hoops and all this other stuff. It's going to be in a beautiful database for all to know. Everybody will come over. Everybody comes through the same portal, the same front door, and they move forward on a whole different level on this beautiful thing we call the Divine Province. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. I'm beside myself, and we're working out some kinks and glitches, and that's to be expected with anything. Getting your system of records and your system in place sometimes takes a couple minutes, and I appreciate all my brothers and sisters being a little bit more loving and patient. We don't want to go off banging our spoons and forks like the Maple's cold. We just have to have a little love and harmony because we are doing everything in our power to move this forward for everybody, so as to make it a seamless transition for all.
Absolutely. It started off really difficult with all these different forms that people had to fill in, and you had to put, all sorts of jump through hoops, basically, in order to get this message across. But I believe you guys have streamlined it pretty damn neatly. So that's just really what the layman needs, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we were operating, I think, under the horse and buggy era there for a minute, and we knew that wasn't going to be ultimately efficient. So now we'll collect this all in a nice, beautiful database. People, when they come over to the Chancery Rolls, it will go into the database, and it will be forwarded accordingly to all the parties at the dance, so that you don't have 1,000 envelopes sitting over there at the Governor General's office, sitting on top of his desk and getting excited. We'll just data release it direct to their system of records, and they'll have got the memo. Isn't that nice?
Oh, it's absolutely perfect, Peter. I tell you, that's music to my ears. Come out of her, all my people, lest you suffer in her sins. And that's the idea. We need to come out of this system. It's corrupt and it's wrong.
Right, right. Because no matter what we've been trying to do to save it, fix it, whatever, you know, we go in honor, and with our heads up high, and all they do is create more roadblocks to damage its brothers and sisters. So literally, shame on those people who have been doing the dirty deeds. You know, I'm going to shame the hell out of them.
Guys, Santo is in queue right now. Pietro, when you see him, you can make him live. I don't know if you guys are hearing me.
All right.
Yep, just about, Kate. We caught that one.
Okay, Santo is in queue waiting.
Okay, all good. Santos apparently is live. Santos Bonacci, sir, are you with us?
Yeah, hello.
Hey.
Hey, Brother Santos.
Hello,
this is your brother Peter across the pond.
Yeah, Peter, Tony, how are you guys?
Not too bad, sir. Yourself?
Good. I finally worked out how to get on.
That was fun. Okay, everything just went dead.
Okay. Still there, Santos?
Absolutely, yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So you have the helm. Give us a little bit of information about what's been going on recently and where you're up to, please.
Yeah, okay. Well, I did a presentation yesterday, and it will be titled Syncretism. Now, I was quite disappointed myself, really, that in 4 hours of filming, I just didn't even begin to wind up. So I'm going to do Syncretism in 3 parts. So when I put this video up online, it will just sort of end at one point where I will just immediately take over when I start part 2 and part 3, because this is really, really big what I've uncovered. This is as big as what you guys are doing with the bonds. And it's interesting how they're both coming, appearing and making their appearance at the same
time.
It's absolutely incredible. When you see what my presentation, you'll understand that it's in the league of what you guys are doing. You know, it's so big. It's just so big. I am now offering proof to the world, which only an idiot will stand there and laugh at or deny, as they've been doing for 2,000 years. Laughing at all the wise philosophers and truth tellers for 2,000 years. The fool has had, he's been like the king on the hill. He's been elevated to, respectable, and the wise man has been thrown in mental asylums, killed, silenced, ridiculed, mocked, hindered, harassed, etc. With this video, it will shut the mouths of the priest. It will shut the mouth of the educated buffoon who repeats erroneous opinions. It will shut the mouth of the stupid one, because there's no cure for the stupid ones. If they insist that they choose stupidity above light, they remain in their stupidity. This video will expose them, and all their mouths will be shut forever. That's a promise I make. I'm not happy with the delivery. I was a bit flat. I don't know why. I slept well. I usually don't sleep well the night before presentations. But that sort of then gives me sort of the fiery Aryan energy that I need to, to stay focused and strong for 4 or 5 hours. But look, yesterday everyone thought it was quite good. It was just me that was not happy. But the information, I can assure you, even though my delivery might not be the best, the information is, I can share some of the highlights of the information. I've got a brand new wheel. I've had a wheel with quite a considerable amount of information, but the new wheel has about 10 to 20 times more information. It's easier to read. It's much clearer. I'm going to build a presentation based on this wheel. And so what people can do is they can click on the wheel. For instance, they can click on Taurus, and it will tell them everything they need to know about Taurus, the cell salts for Taurians, the crystals for Taurians, the whole healing package. This wheel is the most syncretic wheel that you'll probably have ever seen. Now, there's some great syncretic wheels and graphs out there. You know, there's been great scholars like Manly P. Hall and Alvin Boyd Kuhn and guys like that. When you read the works of Manly P. Hall, for instance, The Secret Teachings of All Ages, that book really syncretizes all schools of thought, philosophies, theologies, etc. But this wheel does it in grand style. Now, Pete, you've seen it. Kate, you've seen it. You're the first two people that I've ever shown the wheel to. And you've seen it, and I've gone through it with you the day before the presentation yesterday. And you know what I'm talking about. But what I've uncovered with this wheel, when you look at the cardinal points of the zodiac, that's where you focus all your attention, the cardinal points. Once you do that, then you'll be able to understand what they mean. They're very important. We use the word portal. Cardinal is the same as portal, because in Latin, cardor means a hinge, a door on a hinge. So it's a doorway or a portal opening on a hinge. So that's Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. And what I've shown is that when you reverse, for instance, when you reverse Ram for Aries, Ra with an M after it, Ram, and that's what it is actually. It's Ra. You see, what I've done is I've done a presentation based on Ra. I've gone to Egypt and I've shown the Nile River and how Ra is at Heliopolis, Ra is at Karnak in Thebes, and I've taken people on a pilgrimage to find Ra. And Ra is the Ram, you see. Now, when you reverse Ram, you've got Mar, M-A-R, and that's March or Mars or Mary, because Ram rules March. Then when you go to Crab and you reverse Crab, you've got Bark, B-A-R-C, and that's the bark of Ra. And the bark of Ra is the boat. You see, the Egyptians believed that the boats that dock into ports, you see, a boat docks into a port, and at these cardinal points, as the ancient astrologers taught us, these are portals. So the Cancer solstice on the 21st of June, that's a portal. Souls come in off the moon into our dimension only when the sun is on the Tropic of Cancer. When the sun is on the Tropic of Capricorn, souls leave the solar system through Saturn. So they come in through the moon and leave through Saturn, the seven heavens. And I've explained all of this, and I've shown how the Quran, the Holy Quran, talks about this astrotheology. And the Quran is bold enough to actually mention Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, etc., and the rulers of the 12 mansions, Mars, Saturn, Jupiter, etc. Twice in the Quran you will find all of these in the notes, you see, and it talks about the mansions that Allah has made in the heavens, and it's the zodiac. And see, when you come to Capricorn and you mirror image Capricorn, first of all, you look at the word Capri. Capri is, in Italian, it's capra. Capra. You see, so you've got Ra in ram, you've got Ra in crab, you've got Ra in Libra, and you've got Ra in Capra. Capri, Capricorn, you see. It's really Capra. And it comes from Kefra, the scarab, Ra. And so when you mirror image Capra, and the Spanish actually say cabra, B-R-A, cabra. And when you image, you get out of cabra, you get bark again, just like in Cancer. You mirror image crab, you've got bark. You mirror image cabra, and you've got bark with 2 A's. See, these are the barks of Ra, or the ark. You see, an ark, Noah's ark, was a boat, a bark. And it's the same guy, it's the same dude, it's Ra. And you see, the Tropic of Cancer is the Ark of the Covenant, and the Tropic of Capricorn is the Ark of Noah. Now, this is how it works. So, and also Libra, the other cardinal point, when you mirror image, or should I say an anagram of Libra, you look at the word Libra, take the L off, and you've got Ibra. See, Cabra, Ibra, the ram is Bra, Ra. It's all the Abrahamic religion. I've exposed it. I've exposed this.
This is interesting. I wonder, where does abracadabra fit into that?
Well, I've explained it in the presentation. CAD, you see, you've got 2 abras. You've got abra at the start, and it's the cardinal points. And then caduceus, you see, when you look at Hermes caduceus, he's holding his staff, and the 2 hemispheres of the cerebrum are on the top of it. And what he's holding is a staff with 2 intertwined serpents. The intertwined serpents are the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, the Kundalini and the Kundabhatha, or the Ida and the Pingala, and the stem in the middle is the tree of life. And Abra is one of the wings on the left, and Abra is the wing on the right, because you see that represents the cerebrum, and you see the word Abra in the word cerebrum, and the caduceus, C-A-D, is in the middle. So you've got left hemisphere Abra, the caduceus in the middle, right hemisphere Abra, abracadabra. And Abra means to open. This is why you say abracadabra, open sesame, because the portals are opening the seasons. Aries, the ram, opens to spring. Cancer, the crab, and the scarab open to summer. Libra to autumn. Cabra to winter. And you see, this explains all the science of all our theologies, those 4 portals, those 4 doorways, the 2 equinoxes and the 2 solstices. And I've exposed that Abraham, basically the killer of the ram, you see, when he was sacrificing his son Isaac, the Lord came and said, "Oh, don't you do that. Look over to the right there and you'll see a ram caught in the thicket. Kill the ram instead." You see, like Mithras kills the bull and Moses destroys the bull, Abraham destroys the ram, because you see, Aries and Taurus are in the head. And this is where all the action occurs. Now, the other thing that I brought out, I'll just share these 2 with you because I want to hear about the bonds, guys. You're going to see the presentation eventually in the next week or so when I upload it. So I won't go talking too much about it. But what I have exposed is this. In the sign of the ram is where all the action happens. In the Bible, All the action happens in the month of Nisan. Nisan means Aries. Same thing. Nisan is the ram. What happens in the Bible on Nisan? Well, how about this? Jesus resurrects on Nisan 17. The bark of Noah, or the Ark of Noah, lands and rests on Mount Ararat on Nisan 17. The Israelites come up out of Egypt on Nisan 17. Jericho falls to Joshua and his priests, who pull down the walls of Jericho on Nisan 17. And they did that by blowing on 7 ram's horns, circling the city from anti-clockwise 7 times, once every day for 7 days, and then on the 7th day they circled the city 7 times, blew the ram's horns, and then when Jericho falls, they look for the harlot Rahab, or Rahab, R-A-H, and they save her because she held out a scarlet thread from her window, and she believed. Esther, on the day of Purim, the holy day, saved the Israelites, the Jews, from Haman, who was plotting against the Jews to have them killed in Persia 2,500 years ago, which generated the holy festival of the Jews called Purim on Nisan 17. The day of first fruits is Nisan 17. The day that Jacob's children went down to Israel was Nisan 17. Now, all of these 8 occurrences could never, ever, ever happen by God sitting up in the clouds like Humpty Dumpty on the wall. And as some websites are claiming, that all of these 8 of the most impressive events in Bible history to occur on the same day, the odds of that happening is something like 700 quadrillion, followed by something trillion, followed by something billion, followed by 3 digits of million, followed by another 3 zeros. The odds of it happening are just sheer impossible. But churchgoers have the audacity to say, my God, this proves that Humpty Dumpty God in the heavens is engineering history so that everything can happen in Aries, in the cerebrum. All Bible things, anything that happens on one day out of 365 and a quarter days. The sun.
I'm going to talk.
That the sun performs its beautiful annular circuit in the skies. Everything must happen on Nisan 17. I think we smell a rat, guys. I think we have astrotheology just about summed up, and there will be no debunkers forevermore.
Very good. And Kate is still in the mix again. They're really killing her horn.
Yeah. The imbeciles who think that they're having fun by doing that, they are the lowest forms of the vibration that exists in this separating time of the sheep and the goats that we're in. And they better listen to higher wisdom, and they better
about an hour and a half call.
find a job that might help mankind rather than hinder mankind. You need to find a job that will benefit mankind, dudes, and Stop putting cash in your pockets for hindering people like Kate and truth tellers. You are the type that will kill at the drop of the hat. When someone puts a few coins in your pocket, you'll kill your own mothers. Imbeciles and fools and buffoons and lower feeders, feeding from the bottom rung like pigs and dogs, begging for crumbs. That's what they'll always be, these idiots who find joy and delight in silencing the voice of truth tellers. So don't worry, Kate. These creeps will be sorted out in the very, very near few days that are coming. Because judgment and retribution is here, guys. And unfortunately, there are types that have chosen to live on the wrong side of judgment. And the consequences, according to Hermetic wisdom, will be immense. Immense. It'll absolutely be immense. And for people to pull themselves out of mire that they're putting themselves in by disobeying the voice of reason will cost them millions upon millions of years and years of suffering in the true version of hell, which is the Hermetic version, not the Catholic Church's version. And these types are heading headlong, ears pointing backwards, nose forward, into the Hermetic hell that they're preparing for themselves. So I hope that they get to watch my videos so that they can repent from their stupidity. Anyway,
I like that.
Say something.
Well, it's ironic, Santos, you put it on the wheel, and guess how life works? It's all on the wheel. What goes around always comes around. They just haven't got the memo yet.
Yep. They haven't. They haven't.
Yeah, they are really screwing with Kate's voice. All we're going to do is just draw a whole hell of a lot more attention to this. This is we'll make it the Peter and Santos hour and a half if we got it. I don't care. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, that's fine, my brother.
I can keep this truth going all night long, bro. I have no problem with putting out truth.
Yeah, look, and anything I say from the presentation that I've presented yesterday will perfectly sync with what you guys are doing with the bonds. Now, how dare anybody, whoever it might be, participate in the fraud that they are participating in by causing unsuspecting individuals who are born into a system that they know nothing about, a legal system that they know nothing about and are not educated in school about, and then they receive a summons from some lawyer types who have sworn devotion to the bar, which is just another Vatican fiction like the Crown and the Commonwealth. And they've sworn allegiance to this creepy entity on this planet. And they herd unsuspecting poor individuals into their courtrooms, and they steal money from their bonds. They don't put any surety in, and they expect to fool these poor individuals and to go in the back door and put their hands in their trust, to steal from them, to steal cash from them, and to double dip to get payments from the bonds when they cash them in, and to make money from stealing. This all began with the one and only yours truly, the Catholic Church, hundreds of years ago, when Constantine founded what's called the donation, not Constantine, sorry, I think it was Theodosius, 60 or 70 years after. It wasn't long after, but they discovered a document called the Donation of Constantine.
Right.
And the donation of Constantine is the original. Forget about Unum Sanctum and Eterni Regis and Convocation and the Sestuique trusts. You got to go back to the hallowed days of Constantine and Eusebius when they concocted the the donation of Constantine. Please Google the donation of Constantine, and that is how they collect Peter's pence. You see, Jupiter is the ruler of Pisces, and they are the administrators of the coffers of St. Peter. When you go to the Vatican and you touch that foot of St. Peter that is totally worn, it's a granite statue of Zeus Jupiter, and they converted it to Peter. Jupiter, same shit.
No kidding. I never thought of it in that context, Santos. That's beautiful.
It is. When my father went to Rome in 1970, he came back and he had all these films, and I remember I was a young boy, and he goes, look at these idiots. They're all kissing. He was a Jehovah's Witness at the time, of course, and he's saying they're all kissing Jupiter's foot, the god, the pagan Roman god, and they don't know it, and they think they're kissing St. Peter. Now, that statue, that's there for a reason, because that statue has been with black magic. They have bestowed energies on that statue of Zeus, that ancient granite statue that is missing a foot, a toe, a thumb toe, because of all the buffoons that have gone there to touch it and to kiss it and to show their allegiance to stupidity. The billions of pilgrims, fools and buffoons, what they're doing is they're showing that they are the slaves of Peter's pence. And when the Vatican goes enriching itself, stealing your money in the courts through the bonds and the birth certificates, they are enriching themselves. And they don't care how many St. Peter's toes you wear out. All they do is they want your allegiance and they want your stupidity. And
well, can we... Right. Let me interject something to give you a little bit more clarity, Santos, on what you're saying. I had, I guess, an epiphany at the ripe old age of 13, knowing that there was actually something very amiss. I was raised in a good Roman Catholic church, but the ideology just wasn't sitting right with me. You know, it's like almost like I got an epiphany. I said, something's amiss here. Something's very, very amiss. So I had the thought and reasoning at the ripe old age of 13 to broach the issue with good old Sister Catherine, because she was wondering why I wasn't moving forward on my final vows to the system in communion, not communion, but confirmation. And I said, well, I had, it's sort of like an inquiring minds have to know. So I decided, I said, well, she was sort of frustrated with me because I had missed classes. And I said, well, Sister Catherine, I'll tell you what. If you can give me a legitimate answer to the questions I seek the answers for, then maybe I can move forward. But right now I'm at a standstill. So I specifically broached the issue to her. I said, you know that guy who wears a collar around his neck? And she goes, you mean the priest? And she got sort of a little snippety with me. I said, yeah, that guy. I said, this is the irony. I says, so in essence, what you're telling me, I said, I just want to make sure I get my facts straight because inquiring minds want to know. I said, so you're telling me that guy who sits in that booth over there, that you're saying I need to go through him for absolution, but he's in the human form and he puts his pants on exactly the same way I do, so I got to go through this guy over here for absolution. I says, i.e. a middleman. And she goes, you're a blasphemer. I says, no, I'm just getting warmed up. I says, basically, that makes absolutely no sense in my head. So you're saying I have to go through a middleman. I says, you know what? Just can't do it, sweetheart. I says, and these rogue, saying the rosaries and all this other stuff, I was really pissing her off. I mean, her blood was boiling hot, boiling red, and she called me a straight-up blasphemer. She says, you are excommunicated. I says, outstanding. I said, thank you very much, because you gave me the answer that I seek by your lack of an answer to start. It was beautiful. So, needless to say, I was no longer a party to that party. They got the votive candle crap, the genuflecting, the friggin' lighting of these goofy candles, and praying to Mary. And I mean, talk about some misfit crap, passing the basket around. Anyways, So Santos, would I be correct in my inception or my interpretation of that to have to go through a middleman is that's the blasphemy as far as in my mind. When a man puts on his shoes the same way I do.
That is the same treason they are committing when the bar, the prosecutors, the lawyers, the barristers, the solicitors, all these idiots, absolute dumb-ass idiots who are devoted to this bar. That's what the priests, they do the same thing. They steal your godship from you, your sovereignty, your dominion. They steal it from you. They are thieves. They are wolves in sheep's coverings. Why do you think they wear sheep's coverings when they go to court?
Yeah, so they can fleece the flock. It sounds like to me.
Yeah, they look the part, they play the part, they are wolves in sheep's covering. How dare they put a middleman, how dare they put a trust or a bond in between you and them, how dare they are doing this all the time. The courts are ecclesiastical. It's a church. You go for a hearing to confess your sins to the ordinary and to the cleric who is a clerk. And the prosecutor standing in your skin, accusing you. You are the accused. You are acting as the accused. And they bring a writ, or in other words, a right, a religious right into court to summons you and to, these people are deviant little thugs, and they are preparing a horrible place for the rest of their lives. A horrible place. It's horrible. You see, if your soul cannot ascend due to vibration beyond the rings of the heavens, of the moon, you see, our soul has to vibrate higher than the vibration of the moon, Mercury, Venus, the Sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Otherwise, they will not let us pass. In the Lord of the Rings, you see where what's the name of the great white magician in Lord of the Rings, where he says to the dragon, he says, "You shall not pass." If you see these orbs, these seven heavens, and by the way, let me just read to you from the Holy Quran. Chapter 1, verse 30. You don't have to go very far when you're reading the Quran. As soon as you start reading, you will read 29 verses of the chapter Al-Baqarah. Al-Baqarah. And by the way, Baqarah ends with R-A-H. Ra. Al starts with Al, and then hyphen Baq, B-A-Q, and then you have Ara, A-R-A-H. That pretty much spells Allah, or El, the god El, and Ra together, just like Israel. Anyway, you get to the 30th verse and it says, "He it is who created for you all that is in the earth. Then he turned toward the heavens, and he perfected them as seven heavens." Now, when you go to the footnotes in your concordance, it tells you about the seven heavens, and it tells you that they are ruled by the moon, Mercury, Venus, the Sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, in that order. So if your soul, see these creepy bar types, they ain't going past the moon. The moon bounces souls back to the sphere, which is called the dark satellite, where all the dark souls go. And it's the animal chakra of the earth. They actually go to live in the 8th sphere as animals, no longer fit to incarnate in human form. And this is why the dark satellite is the ruler of the Vatican and the 104 or 5 or 6 cardinals. Those cardinals, remember the word cardinal, portal. They think they're portals. Those cardinals are the highest order black magicians in the universe. Not on the planet, in the universe, because they take direct orders from the unfit souls that live in this orb called the Dark Satellite. Now, if you want to learn about the Dark Satellite, you need to do some solid reading, and I point you to the book called The Light of Egypt by Thomas H. Burgoyne. And there's a chapter there about 10 pages long called The Dark Satellite, where he explains that all the ancient Hermetists knew about this place. And you see, for the last 2,000 years, many souls are incarnating on the earth from this orb. And they are undeveloped. They are undeveloped souls. They're animals. That's why they turn up, you know, as CEOs of corporations like the United States. I'll give you a list of some of these animals. Bill Clinton, George Bush, Junior and Senior, killers. Barack Obama, killers. They kill, they disguise their killing. They call it, you know, bringing democracy to Libya, doing an operation with our partners in Syria. You know, Hillary Clinton gets up on this platform and, well, just like any animal that exists, she says, she uses these very sterilized clinical words like, our partners, we're going to do an operation in Syria with our partners. They don't say that they're going to shed blood and they're going to act in aggression and start a war with sovereign entities that we have no business interfering with their country in, and we're going there to destabilize it so we can bring the Rothschild central bank of the Vatican's, which is the World Bank and the IMF, to Syria and introduce slavery to them like we have to the rest of the world, like we did in Korea and Vietnam and Chile and Indonesia and where else hasn't the Vatican done this? They did it in the Bosnian War in the 90s. They killed Orthodox people and murdered. All you've got to do is read Manhattan's book. What's his name? Avro Manhattan, the Vatican Holocaust. During the Holocaust, the Vatican killed millions and millions of non-Catholics, you see. And basically they just consolidated their corporation to make it bigger and bigger and bigger. Every time the US, which is a branch of the Vatican, goes into some country to bring them democracy and disguise their killing deeds, these animals are consolidating their new world empire so that they can sit behind their walls and press buttons and just, you know, eliminate you from the system, you know, with your RFID chip and, you know, stop you from accessing your bank credit from their wonderful bank and everything like that. Well, these animals are actually going to fail, and it's going to be so funny when they do. We will sit there and laugh and wonder how they ever thought that they were ever going to pull this off. One day, in the near future, and it's only months away, we will look back at this sunken ship of the New World Order and all the buffoons who fell down looking for, you know, the best room on the boat. You know, the Titanic sinking, and you're looking for you're going for the captain's room, you know, and because you want to go down in glory, right? rather than get on a lifeboat. So these buffoons are going down, and we will wonder one day how Babylon the Great has fallen. In 1 hour she has fallen. She has been cast into the sea. Yep.
Okay, that's incredible information, Santos. That's unreal. There was a couple of points throughout that information that people wanted to get across. Peter's got a couple of points, but one of the things mainly that Kate was saying is about the mayor and the office that he actually holds as king of the world. And I believe Peter may have some further information on that. Peter, can you elaborate?
Yeah, just a little bit. This is what, through further digging through the court systems and the bonds, it seems like the mayor stands in line with direct connections to the whole system. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up this document that I just got from Kate. Did a really good job of sort of opening up this other portal. I like that word, portal. It seems like everything's got a portal. You know, it's sort of like porta potty, I guess. Anyways, let me see if I can find this document. I haven't dug real deep into it, but I do know that there's direct tie-ins. Matter of fact, Kate created an actual document that was going to cover this a little bit more in... we were going to cover it tonight because we didn't really cover it on Friday. Anyways, of course, when I'm looking for something, I can never find it. As long as I'm not looking for it, then I find it. So, of course, I'm not going to screw with it. However, did come across a beautiful thing called Uniform Bonding Code, which is a 43-page document stating specifically and succinctly that all cases must be bonded by the state. Just like you said, he who brings the charge pays the bill. The problem is they got no skin in the game. They haven't put up their bond. They stole yours. It's ironic that when you broach that issue with these DAs, they start running from cover like the little cockroaches they are. So that's pretty exciting just on itself because they brought forth the charge, but it's a false charge. It's always pretty much a false charge so that you can do some penance in there with the Magi up there in that courthouse. So that's why I got into the bond issue, so I could create sort of a back door for my brothers and sisters to go how to deal with this issue, and instead of having to deal with it in the magical mystery tour court, they could actually go in love and harmony and settle the account that they never want to settle because they don't want you to know about any of these bonds. Matter of fact, I posted, you got, I think, my info, the surety bond and the bid and performance bonds and the Miller reinsurance bonds. So when you go in with these blank documents, which nobody's ever meant to fill them out, Dean and I covered that at infinitum, it shows that their hand is now sort of in the cookie jar, which they get real excited. But I say I'd like to go a little step further because I want some skin in the game. I say, because this DA who brought the charge, every charge is supposed to be bonded by them, not by you. So it's almost like a double-dipping, double jeopardy type scam. What they've perpetrated upon the American masses is you go step into the bow and you answer up, we got a player. Hey, at door number one, we have a player, and they're drafting you for performance to set the ball in play, which that's what they do. However, the real issue at hand is the one who's got skin in the game, the executor or the prosecutor. He's the one who was supposed to have brought his bond to the game to basically so the state does not have the liability as well. So if he goes malfeasant or operates outside of his capacity, which he's doing 100% of the time, if he's there speaking and he has no bond posted, he has no right to even be in that court because every case is supposed to be bonded by him. Problem is he don't put his bond in the game, but see, the problem is my brothers and sisters don't know to ask for the bond. And it's not about filling anything out. It's about rectifying the situation because they created the liability against you. I have an excellent 43-page read. I'll be glad to forward it to you, so it'll give you a lot more. All these statutes they're bonded. They're corporate municipal bonds. And they've crafted a nice little way to literally bind everybody up in the system. And just by you stepping into the bow and answering up, they got them a game. The problem is they did what I call bait and switch. So all I want to know is where, since this DA is supposed to have some skin in the game, I want to see the skin. So if he's moving forward without the skin, he stands there naked in his full, unlimited commercial liability. So, yeah, let's Anyways, I just thought you might be interested in that, and that the mayors are all tied into this too. So it's one big happy family. Yep. It's an incestuous relationship at best.
On that note, Kate has been trying to get some information out on the mayors, and basically I have the document in front of me. Would you guys mind if I just read it out so people can get a drift?
Not at all. Yeah.
Excellent.
Not at all.
Right. Well, the mayor's court/church. Special note to all mayors. Mayors are elected officials by the will of the people and the highest judge in their jurisdictions. This fact makes them accountable fully to the people and because they are elected by the people. The people unknowingly and unwittingly have elected their judge, whereby the proxy courts and the judges/justices of the peace/magistrates, etc. in their jurisdiction have by default the will of the people, and why they can do what they do to fleece them. It is by free will choice of the people to be fleeced if they elect electromagnetic laws in brackets anyone or anything to speak for them. Honour is intact for those harming us in this manner. ... no longer. Fraud revealed. Mayors are elected and the judges under them are appointed. And that's the first bit of it. Contact risk management departments in your...
I'm here, guys. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go. Now. Finally. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Santo. Hey, Peter. Hey, Tony. Hey, Diatra. Hello, Patrice. Hello, everybody. How are you?
Wonderful that we can hear you again.
Oh my God! I can't believe I can't even be on my own show. Unbelievable.
You see, the buffoons repented.
Yeah. Well, they have no choice
I don't
because
think so.
Yeah, they're going down. I'm sorry, guys. Lord Mayor's king of the world. I've had some major epiphanies today, and I've been formulating the next document to send out to Judge Farbridge of Guelph, Judge Miller of Toronto. These are the elected officials. That's why in Canada judges aren't elected. So they say that's a lot of shite. What that is. All mayors are elected, and they are all under the Lord Mayor of the City of London State. So that Lord and Master is a better title for Lord Mayor. And wait till you see the next document that comes out of these fingertips. You're going to like this stuff. Anyway, Santo, great stuff. You guys are just nailing this. So I really, really am enjoying the ethereal side of things that you're doing. So carry on. Just rock and roll. I just wanted to get that information out. More to follow, I promise.
Yeah. So, Pete, what about on the ground when a policeman approach? You know, now that I've understood this about the bonds, I remember about 3 years ago I was watching Winston Shrout, and Winston Shrout was talking about asking who is the bonded party. One day, policeman came to my place. My nephew was riding a little motorbike that I used to keep for my son. It was a little 75cc, and one of the neighbours must have complained, called the police, so the police come down and waited for my nephew to go down the hill of my house is like sort of, the driveways, you go up the hill to my house, you see, up the driveway. So he rides his motorbike down the driveway, and then he shoots off to the left into the cul-de-sac. I live in a cul-de-sac, little court there. Anyway, all of a sudden, the cops pull up, the cruiser, lights on, flashing, and I race over to my nephew. He fell over off the bike. He's only 7, 8 years old, very scared, very timid. Grabbed the motorbike. It had stalled. He fell over, and the police are already out there with a notepad ready to interview this poor little boy who'd fallen over his motorbike. And I remembered something Winston Shrout said. So what I did was I grabbed the motorbike and I rolled it down the cul-de-sac up into my drive, and the police came with their notepad and they're walking towards me, all sort of business-like. Hey, excuse me. Oh, wait, what are you? Anyway, I said, I'm not talking to you today. I'm quite happy not to talk to you today. I rolled the motorbike into the garage and went up to the deck of my house, and the policemen were approaching, and I remember I said to them, "Who's the bonded party?" At this time I had my camera, I was filming them. It was a male and a female policeman. And they stopped. They were just about to enter the property, and then they stopped. And I didn't realise what I was saying, who's the bonded party. I didn't realise. And he says, "What are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Bonacci. You're in trouble. You're in real trouble, Mr. Bonacci." But within, I don't know, probably about, it would have been a minute, they were in their car and out of there. And I've never heard anything since. It was 3 years ago.
Hey, Santos?
So, yeah.
I just want to add to why they did what they did. And what people need to understand this is every officer within the city, any agent of the Crown, any agent, officer, and that includes officers of the court, judges, magistrates, because they're all standing in proxy for the mayor. And everything that occurs within that city limit or that corporation of the city of or town of or municipality of, I don't give a shit what they call it, but
looks like we've lost you again, Kate. Yeah. Okay, can you follow on from that, Peter?
That's fine. Yeah, matter of fact, well, Santos, what you're saying, it makes perfectly good sense, and exactly what Kate was talking about. Yeah, it all falls under the parameters of the mayor, but the deal is they're all supposed to have a bond. Like I say, their actions of malfeasance are supposed to be bonded. They're a hazard bond. So if you decide, say, hey, what's the name of the underwriter of your bond? And matter of fact, I'm going to need a phone number of your risk management office and the name of the underwriter of your bond. You want to see them get real excited? Just go ahead and spit that couple sentences out your mouth, and then they get real iffy. I said, yeah. Once I get a copy of your bond and the name of the underwriter, then we can move forward accordingly. I'll be glad to give you whatever you need thereafter. So you're not. So it's a conditional response or a conditional acceptance, for lack of a better term. So once he produces his, I'll produce mine. There you go. See, so. They think you're a vessel in commerce because that's what's wrote on the documentation, the paperwork that people go fill out at the DMVs around here. It says it right on the document. I'm going to get me a copy of the DMV document because I want to prove to people that they're a vessel in commerce because it says it right on the damn document. Nobody believes me. So they won't let you take one out, but that's all right. I know some people. So I'm going to pull out an ace out of my hat on that issue. But the bond issue is huge, Santos, and that's what it all comes down to. And I got naysayers telling me it's got nothing to do with the bond. And I said, what side of the fence do you sit on? That's what I want to know. See, so all those people giving me the smoke and mirrors, they won't sustain their position with anything of any valid information. I know it has nothing to do with anything else but the damn bond. And so this is the beauty of this whole thing of us doing the last 3 shows on bonds. Hell, now they're really pissing me off. I'm going to do another show on bonds. Matter of fact, I'm going to read this 43-page document I got in front of my face because they're really making me excited. It's called the Uniform Bonding Code for the officers. Municipal bonding is intended for accidental misuse of power. Bonding is not intended to protect officials in the deliberate misuse of power, and that is the commission of criminal acts, which everything they're doing is a dadgum criminal act, Santos. Hell, they got no skin in the game. They stole your bond. They drafted you for performance, and you walked in there. And they're not supposed to do that, so that becomes like a double jeopardy issue. Now, not only are they prosecuting you, but they're using your damn bond to do it because they didn't have no balls to put no skin in the game, put their own damn bond up on the game. And without their bond in the game, they're standing there naked in their full, unlimited commercial liability. Now I'm getting excited. I forgot to take my medication today. Are you getting the gist of this whole thing? This whole thing is one just massive, huge, colossal scam, fraud. So when you start bringing up the DA's bond, he runs like a little girl, like a little cockroach running away because he knows he's standing there in his full commercial unlimited liability. Matter of fact, if you listen to the Dean and I talk we had a couple of days back on Wednesday, we covered it pretty succinctly. We're not wanting a war with nobody, but the bottom line is they're trying to bring you to the dance. The problem is they're using your ticket. They got to punch their own damn ticket, so bring your damn hazard bond in, which is supposed to be on record attached to the damn oath of office in the risk management office. But it seems that every time we go to look for these things, they don't exist. So is somebody flying without a net, Santos? I think that might be the case.
Yep.
Anyway, so that's where that stands.
Yeah.
We're all flying without a net, and that includes them sorry-ass judges, too.
Okay, Santos, comments?
Wow, that explains the sort of life that they live, really, doesn't it? It really does. They just turn up in court and steal people's money. I mean, that's how it worked in the Dark Ages when the Catholic Church was going around consolidating its acquisitions and treasures and stealing property from people. That
exactly, guys.
Yeah.
I need to jump in here. I'm noticing that we lost the actor on board. I've got the board here. I'm going to show Tara really quick how to sit and keep an eye on this because I keep getting dropped and brought back in. Critical issue we have at stake here. What I wanted to say before I got hammered again was the fact that every agent within the city limit is the mayor as the highest judge who has all her magistrates. And I don't care where they're from. As soon as they enter the city limits, that mayor is liable for every one of their actions. So we're going after the skin of the judge mayor. Okay, and I need people to get this, and I'm hunting down. You can go to city mayors worldwide. Let me just grab the link for everyone, and you start locating the mayor. You don't call them mayors anymore. You call them judge, because that's exactly what they are, and they answer to the Lord Mayor, City of London State. And we're going after what do they call that? Risk management, Peter? Oh, okay. Well, that's Peter now.
They muted me. No, I keep getting muted. People don't like me integrating my conversation as permits, so I guess we're going to have me on mute half the time. Anyways, you're right. It's all about it. Every county's got a risk management office, and that's where you go, and that's where they hide or don't hide or have nothing to show. So, but that's where I'm going. Hey, matter of fact, I want to go to risk management here in Washington County. I want everybody's freaking bond. Let's go play. It's time to play ball. Let's go have some fun.
Exactly, and I need people to get this. This is, I don't know, guys. They've been hammering me all night, so it might be the fact that I'm sharing something that they don't want out there. Maybe, just maybe.
I think it's a coincidence, Kate.
I think so too. You know, and as Son said at the start of the show that I could hear, but I couldn't jump in, was the fact that look what he came out with. You came out with a beautiful holy sign. Wrap it all up. You're all done, and I can hardly wait for this presentation to come out, Santo. And I can tell you, everyone that's on this call right now, and we have Patrice in the background there listening, and I really would like to bring her in at some point if she promises not to ramble. I love her. Anyway, we got to allow for breaths, guys. You know, I know you just want to keep going, but you got to allow for breath. So what I need people to do is to hunt down. I'll have the web page for everyone. Is hunt the mayors of their towns, and I'm working on a document right now that you can send to all these judges and make them know that their risk management is now going to be an issue, a huge issue. Every crime that's committed in their cities is theirs. They own it. They got elected as the highest judge. They get to wear the chains of office.
Yeah, I think that would be the Achilles heel. I think of what you speak. Not a bad idea. Like I say, I'm not warring with nobody. I just want a little truth. That's all I'm looking for. I don't know about anybody else.
Peter,
but, hey,
that's all we're after, my friend. You know that. There is no war here. This is about making these people who don't understand what they're doing to their fellow man, be they animals or otherwise. They are of low, you know, here we have a young sun, and why they worship this young sun is because it's a lower consciousness. And all the reflections coming off it are lower consciousness. You know, then you got beings like us, the photons of light that show up here from, you know, places like Arcturus and Aldebaran and all the rest of these very large consciousnesses. That's why we're here. Let's get this game done. Let's get this done. And Santo, you're so right. I don't think it's going to be months. So I think it's going to be days to a week or two. This thing comes down. We're in Libra. And guess what? My sign is in the Chinese zodiac. It's all about balance, Libra. And my sign is Dragon. And this is the year of. It goes down now.
Yeah.
It's poop or get off the pot time, I think, folks. I really think it's come down to, hey, you know, where's their love and harmony? They beating the crap out of their brothers and sisters for some lucre.
Yeah, commerce. It's their game. It's not ours. Our game is to live. We've come here to live.
I couldn't agree more. So
to enjoy life. Life is a wonderful, wonderful thing, and that's all we want to do. We don't want to go in with their papers, except they've got all those lower-minded buffoons on a string, because the lower-minded buffoons, they see the new big-screen TVs and the new iPods, and they think that this stuff is great. Well, it is great. Technologically, it's great, but they are technological distractions from the life that you have. You are great. We are great. Not the toys that the commercial, enterprising, corporate types are dishing up for us. In fact, no matter how good, I mean, the computers and Skype is great. We can talk to each other from all around the world, but I mean, we're swimming in electromagnetic smog at the same time. So we're killing ourselves to enjoy this greatness. Wouldn't it be good if we could revert to making technology that vibrates at the same vibrations as our auras and at the same vibrations as nature all around us, rather than giving people these horrible, remote fields of electricity? You see, people they've got wireless internet here, they've got wireless phones there. The wireless stuff in your homes is the worst. And so this is the sad thing about the world. These people are induced to follow the system and support it and breathe life into it, whereas it needs to be deflated instantly, immediately.
Exactly. Guys, I'm just a little note for Patrice. I'm going to make your mic hot, honey. So just to let you know, you're in on the call here. But we got them, guys. We've got them so hardcore right now. It is an amazing. This last week or two has been absolutely amazing in what has been uncovered and what's being uncovered. And it's hey, I got me a new dog a couple of days ago. Thank you, Jim. And her name's Gabby. And I got a home that I'm taking her to, and it was formerly known as 7 Dalebrook Place. That's where I was living my joyous game. And the criminals from different jurisdictions, that's going to include the mayor of Newmarket, the mayor of Toronto, the mayor of London, the mayor of Cambridge, the mayor of Guelph. They're all getting noticed. And we also have a team of people working on exactly how we get these guys prosecuted, because there are those in the system that can and will prosecute.
Yeah. Stand in their skins for once.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be nice.
He who makes the rules must obey the rules. That's how this game works. You know the maxims. And we're not deceived anymore. And they're going to know it. And you cannot cry ignorance with me, because what I'm putting together won't be in either legalese shite. It's going to be in regular, commonly understood English. And of course, we've dispelled that, because every letter, number, and symbol came off the flower of life. You cannot copyright or claim creation that belongs to all. And that's why every letter, and they've lost their power of spelling. It's done.
Very good.
How's that for fun, Santo? We haven't had a chance to really catch up, have we?
Not really, no. I've been so busy with this presentation, and you'll see why. It's a megalithic job that I'm doing, but but I think it will be useful for church types and people who don't normally watch my presentations. I've toned it down. I've directed it at them, because they really need to see what I've uncovered. They really need to see the true nature of their religions and stop giving breath to this fictional beast. There's no third-party saviour. There's no justice in their system, their bond system, and these are fictions that need to be exposed. And this wheel does that so well, so well.
Hey. I have a quick question for you, Santo, and I want you to rail tonight, because you haven't been on Freedom Reigns with us yet, and this is such an exciting night for me, and I'm sure a lot of listeners. I mean, we've walked lockstep for the last year, and I know how much have we been through. Look at all of us here and what we've been through. Guys that are listening that haven't really made the move or made an attempt. You have no idea what everyone that's on this call has went through to bring this truth to you. And what I will do is a quick little plea here for Freedom Reigns as far as, maybe some donations. All of us are literally, you talk about skin in the game, Peter. We are all living by the skin of our teeth right now, barely. And we're doing our best to get this out. So if you guys can feel it, show it in your heart to just own this information. Don't just sit there and go, that's kind of nice. Own it. I don't care if it's a nickel. Just throw something at it and make it yours. Okay? So, and that applies to Santo, it applies to Peter, myself, Freedom Reigns, everybody. Tony, all of us have been, we've got everything in this game. And we need you to have a little piece of it. Like a nickel. I don't care if it's 5 cents or 10 cents or 10p or a couple of bob. Just do something, and that way it will be yours. It will have value. Okay, and that's not like I need your money. No, this is about, like I said, put a penny in. I don't care. If everyone put in a penny, we might actually come up with 20, 30 bucks. Actually more than that because we got thousands tuned in right now. Santo, I want you to kind of keep going here, and I'm also going to do a cordial invitation. I'd love to have you pick up a once a week, and I can have you back on this if you can't do it. I'd love to have you, Santos Bonacci, Fire on Free Reign. So that's the cordial invitation from me. You need to get what you have out there, and we have the audience now.
Yeah, well, this time slot suits me. So it's it starts at 10 a.m. in the morning, which is great. I can handle that.
Okay, well, yeah, you pick a day. Actually, this is Sunday night here for us, which is a great night for people just sitting around and wanting to get the truth. So if you want this slot, it's yours. Just say the word.
Yep, that'll be fantastic. That'll be fantastic. Once the new wheel hits YouTube, hopefully I can do all this within a week and get it up. And then once people have that wheel, then they will see the power of this wheel. The universe does everything with numbers, and this wheel proves that. When you look at, the zodiac wheel, you will see the numbers starting from 1 in Aries, and then 12 is Pisces. And that's what the universe does. That's all it does. It does everything through those numbers of 12. That's why 12 is in all of our theological books. 12 apostles, 12 children of Israel, 12 tribes of Israel, 12. There's so many 12s in the Bible, and it's because the universe is the Bible is a universal book, and it's talking about how the universe gets things done. Everything is done with those 12 numbers. All is number, said Pythagoras, and this wheel explains it. Finally, it's done that. It's achieved it, and so. Once that's in people's hands, then I can really just elaborate more on it and go through it with people. There's so much information there, Kate. It's just unending.
Oh no, and listen, we've been through it. And Peter, I tell you, just the sheer wealth of knowledge of the people that are talking here and the stuff that we've actually had to go through and sift through and learn from others and carry and do this. People have no idea. This is gifts, and all I need you to do is just kind of go stand. That's it. And I do want to get this one point out, Santo, and I want you to rail you and Peter. I just want you guys to go with this. Everything involving the bond is regarding a constructive trust. Okay, that's why when you go looking for bonds of your particular, quote, government, what you're looking for are the bid, performance, and payment bonds, and they are construction bonds because we're dealing with a constructive trust. And this is why they have to build a case around you. It's all in the words, guys. Pay attention. So from there, Santo, take it away. But okay, I'm going to announce now. I'm putting your money where your mouth is, my friend. Show me your bond. Santo, brand new host, Freedom Reigns, Sunday night, 7 to 9 p.m., which is his 10 a.m. to noon on Monday mornings in Australia. Oh, my God. Let's get this word out. We got to rock and roll here. So carry on, boys.
Yeah, for sure. Pete, you have a go, man, because I really want to hear what you've got to say about the bond. This is just mind-boggling.
Yeah, well, like I said, that's why I did I actually was. I said nobody's going to get it. I guess I was going to have to go into everybody's home and read the information to them, and that's exactly what we did on Friday's call on the 12th. So that's available for everybody's purview. It would be an excellent place to start for them, so they can follow the bouncing ball literally with ease, because you can get access to the PDF document that I'm covering. My brother Bill, who put this whole document together about a month and a half ago, really laid it out succinctly and pulls back the curtain of Oz, and the Emperor really doesn't have any clothes. He's buck naked. So, matter of fact, he says you can feel free to share this with all your DAs and your judges on this document. And I think I've given you a copy of it. It's available at suijuris.me on the homepage under step number 3. It's the last document. It's called Birth Certificate Scams, 14 pages. And this is what every man, woman, and child through all the country should be reading. Anybody that's under this birth certificate scam, they need to read this document, and then it'll give you total clarity on how they raped the estate from the beginning. So it's sort of like, Santos, when you and I got together a couple months back, I said, you know, you're paralleling what we were saying, and you were covering issues, especially what goes on in court. And I said, this guy's echoing everything we're saying. And where I got my so-called epiphany, my V8 moment, for lack of a better term, was when you started talking about the beneficiary and how they transfer the hats and make you become the executor and execute yourself, and then the trustee, so they can suck up the beneficial interest off the estate. Well, the Postmaster General covered it succinctly when I was reading through the PMG stuff. I said, man, this is a 2 and 2 plus 4 equals moment. I said, this is incredible. And like I say, I uncovered where I got my epiphany was, like I say, they're hiding it in plain sight, folks. Like I say, the W-2s, W-4s, 1099s, they are not income tax forms. They're tax class 5 under their code, 6209, and it says estate and gift tax. So, I mean, hey, they're putting it in our face. We just fail to read between the lines about that it's literally all about the estate. So the upside of this is, guess what? If you don't like what they're doing with your estate, we now have a place to take it. So the MIC and all the other players, you know, we're not happy with how they're doing their black op operations, not, as well as how they're playing hide the sausage in every county in America on the CAFR accounts. That's, you know, for those that don't know anything about CAFR, go to www.CAFR1.com. Walter Burian does an excellent, succinct job. You know, the only game in town is called his video, and it's free over there. So I'm telling you, if the people in the town will wake up in their counties and have them lay bare the real books, the second set of books that they've been playing hide the sausage in for the last since they've been printing them since 1946. So, folks, they've been, you can pull it up on your system of records on your own computer. I found Washington County here, over in this part of the country, in a matter of like 30 seconds. They're not hiding it. It's in plain sight. We just don't talk about it. So as long as we got our brothers and sisters busy on Monday Night Football and Dancing with the Stars, we don't have to worry about the folks looking into our chicanery and underhandedness. But this bond thing is massive, huge, and that's where it all starts. It's literally all about the bonds. And so for those out there who are denying that it's about the bonds, I'm wondering how they're getting their bread and butter toasted and from whom. That makes them a shill in my eyes, because I can prove everything I say. I can show you in black and white everything that that I'm sharing. This is not off the cuff. I didn't pull this out of my backside. I didn't make it up. I'll show you everything in black and white. Just like, matter of fact, I covered I think on Friday. There's an actual document. I'm going to dig it up. I'm going to find it. For all those people who like to sign in black, that's why they want you signing in black, sinning in black. You're considered a decedent, a dead man. So it just keeps coming back to this decedent thing. So, anyways, somebody wanted to cut in, I think. Sounded like Kate wanted to cut in. Anyways, we did Santos. Yeah, I stopped at page 9 when we went through this document, this 14-page birth certificate securitization scam. So it really, really ties in the bouncing ball on so many different levels. There's no plausible deniability anymore. I mean, this crap's dead nuts wide in the open. Matter of fact, even on my site, suijuris.me, under the educational site, it talks about creation of a trust, Section 401, Methods of Creating a Trust. I actually have the document on my education page for everybody for their own personal purview. None of the stuff I'm sharing here tonight is made up, folks. You want? I will draw you the dots. I will draw it. I will bring you over to it, and you can read it for yourself. So for everybody that keeps thinking that it's hocus pocus, hell, Santos, the biggest hocus pocus has been pulled on the masses. That's where the hocus pocus is involved. They've left us all through acts of malfeasance, no full disclosure on any level in any way, shape, or form since our inception, our birth. So it's nothing new in Rome, bro. It's 2,000 years of the same old crap. They just got a lot better hiding it. Now it's hiding in plain sight. If you can read between the lines, you'll get your truth with both barrels, and you'll get it. It's really that simple. So the birth certificate bond is where it all starts. So cut the Gordian knot. If you don't like it, then go over to the divine province. Move on. And that's what we're creating over on this side of the fence and this side of the pond for all our brothers and sisters who are under the duress and domain of the dead entity under USA Inc. and Australia Inc. and Canada Inc. and UK Inc. The jig is up. It literally is up. They haven't got the memo, but they're fixing to get the memo very, very soon. So these are exciting times, folks. The truth shall set you free. Anyways, yeah, I'm not feeling all bondy tonight. I'm feeling just sort of like I just want to share with my brothers and sisters that all this information exists and that they can find it, and we'll make it available to all.
Santos,
Santos?
Yeah, mate. Yep, absolutely. Fantastic, Peter. Yeah, that's what it all boils down to, getting the truth out and getting it in people's ears. The worst thing that the controllers dread is exposure. They are running scared. They always have been. That's why they've got all the guns and they do their killing from behind their walls. They don't go out... They start the wars, but you don't see them going in there to fight them. They send some other bloke in there.
You don't see them. Yeah, you don't see them putting their children in. They ain't got no skin in the game. They make sure their kids stay at home, up under mommy and daddy's nest, so that there's no blood on their front porch. You know what? I say all these clowns that love these wars. Let's say, brother, I did 10 years in. Let's wire them up, get them a 782 gear, give them a backpack, an M16, and we'll put you in the breach first. I've been in the breach. Let's put these clowns in the circus in the breach. They're so excited about going to war. Well, hey, bring it, brother. Hey, I'll stand a post, get in the game, and put your money where your mouth is. Put your ass on the line like all my brothers and sisters who have gone before me and have lost their lives over these false lies and this crazy-making behavior in all these other third world countries and under the guise of that they did something bad to us. They didn't do crap to us, folks. It's all about because they won't monetize in friggin' dollars. The Iraq crap, the Afghanistan crap, the Libya crap, it's all because they won't play with the bankers, and they're not happy now. You know what? Well, I hope you're going to get real unhappy real soon because, you know what, it's all on the wheel, bro. It's all coming back full circle, I promise. I don't have to do a damn thing, man. I'm just going to let the shit out of the elephant and let them see if they can pack it back in.
Yeah, no, you're right, because there's warriors and there's soldiers, Soldier comes from sold. Yeah, which comes from money. So they're paid, they can be a mercenary, it doesn't matter. You can get someone from in fact, some of the mercenaries that are fighting against the Syrian government are actually Syrians. So you can give people money to fight against their own people. So a soldier is not a warrior. These young boys need to be taught how to be warriors for truth, warriors for justice, warriors for divine things, rather than soldiers for Halliburton and Blackwater. Big difference.
Right. Excellent. That's right. Yeah. We got our brothers and sisters. They've been sold the sham, the scam. I'm not anti-America. I love my country. Problem is, it got stole out from underneath us since 1871 under USA Inc. They've been operating under their shadow mirror of themselves, and they forgot to share with us, the rest of us, to let us in on the game. Because if they would have really told truth when you went down to the DMV, well, there's no law mandating you do this. However, here's your option. You can if you want to, but it's not forced compliance. Well, then they couldn't make no sticking money if they told the truth, because nobody'd sign up for this bullshit. Right? Yeah, but hey, we're not going to tell you the truth, so just come on down, and this is the way we've been doing it for years. Sort of like when I asked my parents about property tax. Their pat answer to me was, well, because they told us. Well, gee, that gave me a whole lot of insight. You know, I said, does God send man a property tax bill? Apparently somebody superseded God and thinks that they have the capacity to send you a property tax bill, because that means they must be God incarnate themselves. Who died and left these clowns God? And
something else on that, and Santo, you can jump in on this one too. There's a reason why they call them tax rolls, and you have all these people that have been, that was where I started with them, was property tax. As soon as you get off the property roll, that's an awakening. And of course, where's the property tax coming out of? City Hall. And that's where all the nonsense started with me. Well, it started before that, but that was when it really started to go. So just want to throw a snippet in there. So carry on. You're doing great.
Thank you, Kate. I appreciate that. It's like I say, through the this is the irony, Santos. We get raised up in our households as children to have honor, to be honest in our dealings. They teach us the good book, the good rule. Yet the scumbags are operating totally to the opposite of that game, and they fail to tell you or make you aware that, hey, the rules don't apply to us. They just apply to the damn slaves. And that's the way they look at everybody. Two-legged slaves, chattel property for milking and bilking and screwing. And, the irony, let's look up the definition of commerce. It's called intercourse. Well, I'll tell you what, they screwing the hell out of everybody real good without the KY. So, hey, you got brother, you got to give me credit. I didn't put a four-letter adjective in there like I usually do. I'm keeping my Navy vernacular out of this, but I'll tell you what, I'm not going to keep the truth out of this, because I'm really sort of pissed off, because so we are taught to operate in honor, truth, in the American way. What a crock of shit. I mean, give me a break. You know what? Hey, the first will become last, and the last will become first. They're fixing to get the memo, and what? I really actually got to pray for their souls, bro. I mean, I actually got to almost feel sorry for them, because they've sold their soul down the river for lucre, for something of digits and credits on a freaking computer screen, for crying out loud. Talk about your soul. Yeah. Not only is their soul in jeopardy, their whole being is totally in jeopardy. They sold themselves out because they have no honor. They have absolutely nothing. They're devoid of any compassion, love, and feeling in their heart, and that's what makes us, the divine spirits that truly get this, really, really pretty pissed off. But you know what? I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to get even. I'm just taking my dice, and I'm taking my marbles. I'm taking my football, and I'm moving to another side of the fence, and it's all good, because I'm just making a simple business decision, and I already did it. So it's all good on my end, Hey, I'm over on the private side, so we could play ball in a whole new arena, and I'm really excited about what's coming. I know they're not, but
I know they're not.
Don't care.
I know they're not.
They've been pissing in the cornflake bowl for a long time and telling me it's not piss,
No, I know, and that's something else too, that these guys that are running these silly little corporations, being fed by ego and greed, thinking they're more important than the next beings. We're all equal. But Santo, one of the things that we've discussed many times in the past is the know thyself, and you will not know thyself until you know what your sign is and the different attributes contained in it. Do you want to expand on that a bit? We got about 20 minutes left here.
Yeah. Well, first of all, the big mistake that people make when they go to court is the name. We've learnt that through years of being involved in the sovereignty movement, right? I started 5 years ago or so, but anyway, the name always stood out, and how we And Kate, we've gone through this, how the name is a negation of your own divinity. You carry a name, you're just basically denying that you are the I am. The I am has no name. When Moses says to the burning bush, he says, well, who do I say has sent me when I go down to Pharaoh? And he says, I am. And the burning bush says, I am. I mean, what more? How can you put a name on the all, which is God, right? How can you put a name on it? That's why we've given it a title and we've called it God, because it's everything. It's the universe. It's Isis. It's everything that we can consciously grasp. So why are we doing that if we are a part of that? The last time I checked, I'm connected to God because I am a unit of divinity. I am an atomic unit of the same light. I am a ray of light. That's all I've ever been. I've never changed my nature. I never changed it from light into darkness or into anything. I've always been light. Everybody is light. Everything is light.
Yep.
And so light is. Light doesn't go around taking, credit for itself for doing what it does, creating everything. And we ignorantly go around ignoring the beautiful processes of nature, which are carried out by electromagnetic light. And so this is where we've reduced ourselves to slavery, by taking on a name. It's a legal entity. It's an entity all of its own. And no matter how... Yeah.
Just something else to continue with what you're saying. We don't know the word name, the actual, the ancient etymology of that word means way. So what you're saying when you claim a name, that's your way, which means you're walking in the dark as an id entity. Just like the word ship means mind. That's why they want to have ownership. And again, letter by letter, I've done the shows before, I'll do them again. But I just wanted to add that the way aspect is, what is your angle, your angel way? And you are literally misdirecting yourself if you think you're anything, if you think you are a name, an id entity. So this is where they've had us, by our free will choice, making choices easy for them by being duped. But we're not duped anymore.
No, this is the thing. Yeah, we've also come of age, and we've also realised that we need to be responsible. You see, when you're distracted by climbing corporate ladders and keeping up with the Joneses, etc., you forget about this. You forget about the responsibility that you have and the contract that you made before you came to this planet to enjoy life, to be conscious, to be a warrior for truth, to love the good, and to work the works of light. And we've forgotten that, because everything other than that is a distraction. And so we now have, probably because we've suffered enough and got our fingers burned enough, and we've just come of age. Who knows? Maybe it's just because the heavens are looking favourably upon us, and we are better receivers of the higher vibration that is coming, and we're in line to receive it first, and or whatever. But whatever the process is, we've finally come to this point where we want to be lawful, where we want to stand up and embrace the truth and everything that is required to do so. And this is a good thing, because once enough people do that, they go bye-byes, because they disappear. Their services are no longer needed. They can only perpetuate their services and propagate their services when the masses are ignorant. So let's go full steam ahead and expose and just share this truth with folks. Just keep doing it, day in, day out. That's all I do all day. Just whatever good videos come to me, I repost them on Facebook or whatever. I get them out there. Any information that I think might be beneficial, even if there's, anything.
I was going to say, Santo, beautiful website for horoscopes, the one I got from you, Horoscopes Within. you want to find out all about yourself, I have never seen anything more dead nuts accurate than that. It is, and then of course tying in all the different aspects, the Tibetan lunar aspects, the Chinese zodiac, all of it. It all factors.
It does. Absolutely it does. And I'll just take over here, Kate, because you've dropped out, but so I'll take advantage of that. But yes, it does. When one bothers to spend some time, just a little bit of time, that's all it needs, one will understand that astrology is pure science. It's science. It's not hocus pocus. And for any listeners who still have that churchy thing going on, I'm not saying I'm not saying anything bad against books like the Bible and the Quran. I love these books. These books are magic. They are beautiful books. I am going after the corporate churches. They have no right to divide Christ's kingdom. Christendom, the dome of Christ, the kingdom of Christ, that is the consciousness that has arrived. That's what the Christ is. It's not churches. It's not Baptists telling their people that the Pentecostals are all going to hell, and the Pentecostals telling their people that all the Jehovah's Witnesses are going to hell, all the way down the 30,000 registered Christian corporate commerce churches. And if anyone has that mindset still, you really need to lose that mindset, because it will prevent you from accepting the highest science in the universe, which is astrology. Everything comes from the stars. And this is what I brought out in my presentation. When you call your female friend's sister, all you need to do is put an I in front of the word sister, and you get Isis star. And when you call your male friend's brother, you are calling them Ra, Ra Theos, the god Ra. So Ra and Isis, Israel, are still with us. We carry the memory of these two great gods every day with us when we bump into our brothers and sisters. So how dare we in ignorance formulate opinions about things we know nothing about? And usually people will say, from the churches, people will say, oh, astrology is condemned in the Bible. Where? I've never seen it. I've read the Bible back to front. I've read it underwater. I've read it in all situations. I've been reading it all my life. I've lived in that book many times. And there is nowhere in that book. In Isaiah 47, it does condemn astrologers, just like Jesus condemns lawyers. Jesus is not condemning law. He came to fulfill the law. We've all come to fulfill the law. But when Jesus says, woe to you lawyers, for you've thrown away the keys of knowledge, neither do you go in, nor do you let the little children go in, he wasn't condemning law. So when God says, woe to you astrologers, and see if you can predict a better outcome, you astrologers, he wasn't attacking astrology, because the Bible is all about astrology, and I've proven that beyond a doubt. There's no argument. There's no debate. It's all over. It's finished. The Bible is astrology, pure and true. And I've not only me. There's many guys out there. There's Jordan Maxwell, and there's Acharya S. and Michael Zarian. You know all these names. It's very important that true dominion and true freedom come in all branches of life, not only in the spiritual and the legal and the lawful, but in everything. In food too. You know, the kind of food that we eat needs to be improved every day. Every day we should be looking for better food to put in our bodies, because our temples deserve it. And when you look after your temple, salvation takes care of itself.
Yep.
Yeah. that's what's on my mind. That's what this syncretism that I'm doing generates in your mind. It generates love for truth, love for good, love for beauty, love for wisdom, and all the good things. And they're coming our way. These are the true desires of our hearts. Sat Chit Ananda, the Hindus say. That's all the heart desires. Consciousness, existence, and bliss. So where's commerce? I didn't see commerce in that list. And that's all that we require. That's our true nature. So why don't we enjoy our true nature and get to know it? Know thyself. If you are Sat Chit Ananda, well then grab it. The only way you won't get it is by distractions. Hopping in your SUV and going down to that job. Job was invented in the Industrial Revolution in England to enslave people and to take them away from work. They were working on their farms, and they didn't have enough, so they thought, well, let's go down to the city, down to good old London where that industry's happening 200 years ago, and let's get a job. The government's offering jobs with all sorts of securities and benefits and privileges. No rights. So they draw you in and they say, oh, here's a benefit. Sign here. Oh, here's an advantage. Here's a privilege. You can have this privilege here if you sign here. But where's your rights?
Well, it's ironic. I got somebody who just posted something on the board. I was just sort of perusing through it. My children perish for lack of knowledge. I'm stating that straight up. Here we go again with this citizen crap. Oh, man, it's a dead entity, folks, and that's what I was trying to share with my brother. We've done this, and this, and I love what he's saying. I understand where he's coming from, but he doesn't know where he's coming from because he didn't get the memo yet. So I'm going to post him some beautiful stuff to read from the Informer about how using this moniker, sovereign and citizen, all rolled into one, and all this crazy stuff, because you're telling them who you are, or i.e. you're telling them who you are not. You're one of theirs. You're in fiction land, and you keep operating in fiction land, and you keep stabbing yourself with your own. You keep poking yourself with your own fork. My brothers and sisters are literally they really have been basically brought down the path, the wrong path, and they're buying off on ideologies and their word speak. They shall know them. They shall know us by our acts and deeds, and also as well our words. So when you use words like citizen, sovereign, even the word sovereign, Santos, I'm sorry, I can't even go there, because of what's happened here in America is they automatically bundle you in the same damn box as sovereign citizen, which is a oxymoron, which is deleterious to your well-being. So these words that we use, they shall know us by our words. And when we use those words, just look up the case Wickbow versus Hopkins. A man is sovereign thereby just because he is. He never ever have to state it anywhere. Never has to put it on a document. Never has to even share it with anybody. You are thereby. You are standing in your own free right and your own free reign as a man on the land, whatever the province you may show yourself. So I just wanted to give a little clarity on that, because this guy who's posting across this deal here, I love what he's doing. I understand what he's doing. I understand the corruption and everything behind it. But because we really don't know who we are, we haven't got on the right plane. We're still on the pea shooter, the one proper, when we should be on the 747, but they haven't got the memo yet. So I'm hoping to enlighten some of my brothers, especially on these vernacular they use, on these words like sovereign and citizen. I don't use any of that stuff. I'm not going to start now, never have started, because they are actually, that's the objective here in America now. If you are claiming to be you're one of those sovereigns, they're gonna drag your ass to the Gray Bar Motel, bro. That's what the objective is, because they already classified you, even without you saying the other word, even though you don't mention it. They're putting you in the same damn box. You can't make this stuff up, because I'm paying attention to what's going on across my screens and all these politically incorrect places and all these other areas. And so, it would behoove us to really get to know who we are on a different level instead of using terminology that will bind us up. I wasn't beating your doors in, Santos. I love you, brother. I'm just sharing with you what I'm seeing going on here in this thing called America, They've automatically castigated everybody down a bad hole, and it will have deleterious effects on all those who make that claim. So, I'm telling my brothers and sisters, do not even claim that word because, hey, like I say, Wickbow versus Hopkins, look it up yourself. You are sovereign thereby just because you are. I am. You know what I'm saying? So we never ever have to speak that. But when we do in America now, they're using that to beat the doors and beat the brakes off my brothers and sisters to literally bind them up in a whole new way.
Hey, Pete. Well said, mate.
Yep.
Well said. Right, we've got 6 minutes, maybe less, to wind the show up, guys. So, thanks for coming on, guys. But can we please get some information, some contact details out for Santos and then Peter, and then obviously we'll deal with Outside the Box.
Yeah, well, sure. I'm universaltruthschool.com and Mr. Astrotheology on YouTube. That's the way to get through to me and my stuff.
Excellent, Peter.
Yeah, they can just saunter on over to the educational site, SUI, SUI, JURIS.me, SUIjurist.me, and they can help themselves to all the free knowledge they can stand. I put it all there. There's no cotton candy over there, folks. It's just steak. It's just meat and more meat and something that you can actually thrive on and actually wrap your head around what's coming down and what's going on, and to give you a lot more clarity on the variables they've stuck in your path.
Excellent, thank you. All the information really is there, and all it takes is paying a bit of attention to it and follow the bouncing ball, as Peter puts it. But yes, all of that information is ready and waiting for you. With that, I'd like to say thank you to everybody for listening on Outside the Box. Unfortunately, we've had Kate knocked into another field somewhere. She's had a heck of a time tonight trying to even stay online. So, unfortunately, that's the way they react when the truth is staring them in the face. But we have 3 minutes, so thank you for joining us on Outside the Box. And if any of you guys would like to say a couple of final things.
Well, I'd just like to say that hopefully I can get on this call as much as possible with you guys. That'll be fantastic, and share my new findings. I've got so much to share. It's just coming out of my ears. In fact, yesterday I had the feeling halfway through my presentation when I realised that I was only like 1/10 of the way in, that I would not be able to get it all out. So I automatically suggested to myself that I do part 2 and part 3, and I'm going to book those presentations for the next couple of weeks. So hot on the heels of the first one, I'm going to do 2 more, part 1, part 2, part 3, and they're all 4 hours each, lectures, and still there's about 40 presentations to come just from this. So there's a lot to share. Hope
Excellent.
to do so.
I believe you're also going to be joining us on Freedom Reigns more often as a host.
Yep.
Excellent. Beautiful news.
Just keep that Peter guy off the line, will you?
Oh, dear.
Y'all are killing me.
It's incredible. Okay. Okay, I think we'll wind it up there, Dee. Again, thanks for everybody listening. Sorry, as I say, we couldn't get Kate online for more than a couple of seconds, but again, thank you for joining us on Outside the Box. Good night.
Good night. Hitting on all 12 cylinders and you start bringing real truth of substance, then they start getting excited because they're caught with the proverbial hand in the cookie jar. They don't like being caught, but, well, the gig is up. I think we've all come to a point, and if they do this malice and aforethought continuously from here on out, they're going to be held accountable on a whole different level. They just haven't got the memo yet.
Yep, absolutely. Like I said, the cat is seriously out of the bag. This one ain't going back in. It's as simple as that. We've caught them with a hand in the cookie jar with the pants down at the same time. So there you go. Those pesky kids, eh?
Yeah, well, you know, when you come with malfeasance and black heart, this is what they do, and it's the only way they know how to operate is to try and bind the rest up, because they have no honor. There's no honor in the public. Their function is basically to extricate you out of this and beat your doors down until there's nothing left, because they know that they're caught and they know their days are numbered.
Well, this is the point. This is the biggie, because if you understand what's going on this level, it demonstrates to you what it is they're actually trying to hide. I mean, we can see it now. The fact that they've been pulling all this stuff for such a long time, and as I say, it goes back a hell of a long time. I mean, the technology that they've hidden from the human race, and this is ancient technology. They've had all along and managed us down here like an ant farm, basically. That's why they were so desperate to hide, because once this cat's out of the bag, if we can get access to that technology and that level of, incredible knowledge, it's just total freedom from the human race, and that's the worst fear that they've got.
Yeah, all these evil, black-hearted folks that have been extracting off the backs of the masses, the game is up. This game is over. Like I say, there's no honor in the public. There's no honor in them. All they know is tricks is for kids at the end of a gun through forced compliance does not a valid contract make. So now they have to force people into to lose their integrity because they don't have any. We've been dealing with the truth and broaching this issue now for years. Like you say, they've been playing hide the sausage for thousands of years. There's nothing new in Rome. They've been pulling this stuff since back in the day. So the exciting part is it's going to go viral, and they're not going to put the poop back in the elephant no matter what they think. What are you going to do, kill us all? Then you got no slaves on the plantation to run. It's come down to that. So we are going to put this, we're going to make our world right. We're going to make it right. We're not warring. They're the ones doing all the warring. We're coming in love and harmony in our hearts, and they've got none, absolutely none.
Absolutely. That's the key, really. We've done what we're supposed to be doing and just come back to consciousness, and it's about giving it back to our place.
I'm sorry, I got this. Sorry about the call. 1 second, brother.
Just kind of getting some stuff set up here. We can get rocking and rolling. We have Santos. I'm trying to talk Santos through this to get him online here. And I'm trying to keep the board up on my computer so I can actually keep an eye on things as to what's going on with that. Cutting as usual. Okay. Santos is going to be logging in via Skype data, so just so you know, I'm going to look up on the computer now. I'm going to pick it up for my own game. Kate, they're killing
killing you where you live, sweetheart. They are killing you where you live. Can't hear anything.
It's literally unlegible, Kate. You can't make out a single word.
Anyway, well, Peter, take it away. I'll take care of Santos.
Okay. Nothing coming. Okay, guys, please just bear with us. Obviously, Kate's getting hit left, right, and centre down there to take the information or the value of the information of what we've actually come through with and tried to explain to you guys out there. Obviously, I'm not sure how I'm coming through. If somebody can just let me know, that would be great. I'm not sure what it sounds like at the moment. You there, Peter?
I'm here fine. Yeah, they don't whack on our door. They whack on Kate to make sure can't get a word in edgewise. We went through this on Wednesday and Friday.
Yeah, totally. We've seen it all before, but it seems to be getting worse and worse. So, you know, the thing is, Pete, you know and I know, it's not going to work. The game's up, the cat's out the bag, the horse is bolted, whatever you want to call it. The information's getting out there. More and more people are getting switched on all the time. We're getting people like Ben Gilroy coming on. There's all sorts of people coming to join the you know, the group, as it were.
Yep. Well, when you start
choose stupidity above light, they remain in their stupidity. This video will expose them, and all their mouths will be shut forever. That's a promise I make. You know, I'm not happy with the delivery. I was a bit flat. I don't know why. I slept well. I usually don't sleep well the night before presentations. But that sort of then gives me sort of the fiery Aryan energy that I need to, you know, to stay focused and strong for 4 or 5 hours. But look, yesterday everyone thought it was quite good. It was just me that was not happy. But the information, I can assure you, even though my delivery might not be the best, the information is, I mean, I can share some of the highlights of the information. I've got a brand new wheel. I've had a wheel with quite a considerable amount of information, but the new wheel has about 10 to 20 times more information. It's easier to read. It's much clearer. I'm going to build a presentation based on this wheel. And so what people can do is they can click on the wheel. For instance, they can click on Taurus, and it will tell them everything they need to know about Taurus, the cell salts for Taurians, the crystals for Taurians, the whole healing package. This wheel is the most syncretic wheel that you'll probably have ever seen. Now, there's some great syncretic wheels and graphs out there. You know, there's been great scholars like Manly P. Hall and Alvin Boyd Kuhn and guys like that. When you read the works of Manly P. Hall, for instance, The Secret Teachings of All Ages, that book really syncretizes all schools of thought, philosophies, theologies, etc. But this wheel does it in grand style. Now, Pete, you've seen it. Kate, you've seen it. You're the first two people that I've ever shown the wheel to. And you've seen it, and I've gone through it with you the day before the presentation yesterday. And you know what I'm talking about. But what I've uncovered with this wheel, when you look at the cardinal points of the zodiac, that's where you focus all your attention, the cardinal points. Once you do that, then you'll be able to understand what they mean. They're very important. We use the word portal. Cardinal is the same as portal, because in Latin, cardor means a hinge. a door on a hinge. So it's a doorway or a portal opening on a hinge. So that's Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. And what I've shown is that when you reverse, for instance, when you reverse Ram for Aries, Ra with an M after it, Ram, and that's what it is actually. It's Ra.
Oh, we could hear you just a bit, Kate. Can you try and speak again?
Hey, catch me knee deep. I'm doing a call, dude. I'm on the Santos call. I posted it to your Dewey Jersey.
Okay, I heard that, so I don't know if you can hear me.
Precise. You're freaking.
Very, very vaguely. Yeah, they're just hitting your connection real hard. It's a terrible line. Have we got Santos online? Santos Bonacci? Apparently not yet.
Okay.
Okay, you're back with us, Peter.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm trying to get. We're trying to get Santos there. Okay, I'm working on that, guys. Just carry on. I'm kind of the back end here, so just carry on.
Okay, that's fine. So Peter, what's new in the province?
Well, the ball is moving very quickly and fluidly. It's a very good thing. Yeah, it seems like my brothers and sisters in Canada, UK, and Australia have decided they want to get off this slave ship and move forward as well. So that door has now opened. It's beautiful. It's we don't have to jump through all these other document hoops and all this other stuff. It's going to be in a beautiful database for all to know. Everybody will come over. Everybody comes through the same portal, the same front door, and they move forward on a whole different level on this beautiful thing we call the Divine Province. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. I mean, I'm beside myself, and we're working out some kinks and glitches, and that's to be expected with anything. Getting your system of records and your system in place sometimes takes a couple minutes, and well, I appreciate all my brothers and sisters being a little bit more loving and patient. Yeah, we don't want to go off banging our spoons and forks like the Mapo's cold. We just have to have a little love and harmony because we are doing everything in our power to move this forward for everybody, so as to make it a seamless transition for all.
Absolutely. It started off really difficult with all these different forms that people had to fill in, and you had to put, all sorts of jump through hoops, basically, in order to get this message across. But I believe you guys have streamlined it pretty damn neatly. So that's just really what the layman needs, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we were operating, I think, under the horse and buggy era there for a minute, and we knew that wasn't going to be ultimately efficient. So now we'll collect this all in a nice, beautiful database. People, when they come over to the Chancery Rolls, it will go into the database, and it will be forwarded accordingly to all the parties at the dance, so that you don't have 1,000 envelopes sitting over there at the Governor General's office, sitting on top of his desk and getting excited. We'll just data release it direct to their system of records, and they'll have got the memo. Isn't that nice?
Oh, it's absolutely perfect, Peter. I'll tell you, that's music to my ears. Come out of her, all my people, lest you suffer in her sins. And that's the idea. We need to come out of this system. It's corrupt and it's wrong.
Right, right. Because no matter what we've been trying to do to save it, fix it, whatever, we go in honor, and with our heads up high, and all they do is create more roadblocks to damage its brothers and sisters. So literally, shame on those people who have been doing the dirty deeds. I'm going to shame the hell out of them.
Guys, Santo is in queue right now. Pietro, when you see him, you can make him live. I don't know if you guys are hearing me.
All right.
Yep, just about, Kate. We caught that one.
Okay, Santo is in queue waiting.
Okay, all good. Santos apparently is live. Santos Bonacci, sir, are you with us?
Yeah, hello?
Hey.
Hey, Brother Santos.
Hello,
This is your brother
How are
Peter across the pond.
Yeah, Peter, Tony, how are you guys?
Not
Very
too
nice.
bad, sir. Yourself?
Good. I finally worked out how to get on.
That was
yeah,
fun.
So,
Okay, everything just went dead.
Okay.
Yep,
Still
yep,
there, Santos?
absolutely, yep.
Excellent. Okay. So you have the helm. Give us a little bit of information about what's been going on recently and where you're up to, please.
Yeah, okay. Well, I did a presentation yesterday, and it will be titled Syncretism. Now, I was quite disappointed myself, really, that in 4 hours of filming, I just didn't even begin to wind up. So I'm going to do syncretism in 3 parts. So when I put this video up online, it will just sort of end at one point where I will just immediately take over when I start part 2 and part 3, because this is really, really big what I've uncovered. This is as big as what you guys are doing with the bonds. And it's interesting how they're both coming, appearing and making their appearance at the same
time.
It's absolutely incredible. When you see what my presentation, you'll understand that it's in the league of what you guys are doing. You know, it's so big. It's just so big. I am now offering proof to the world, which only an idiot will stand there and laugh at or deny, as they've been doing for 2,000 years. Laughing at all the wise philosophers and truth tellers for 2,000 years. The fool has been like the king on the hill. He's been elevated to, respectable, and the wise man has been thrown in mental asylums, killed, silenced, ridiculed, mocked, hindered, harassed, etc. With this video, it will shut the mouths of the priest. It will shut the mouth of the educated buffoon who repeats erroneous opinions. It will shut the mouth of the stupid one, because there's no cure for the stupid ones. If they insist that they